What you addicted to that is perfectly legal. The praise and approval of others. I've worked hard to hide this fact, but it's definitely an issue. I feel this one. A friend of mine who I respect a lot recently told me he was proud of me. I stood up for myself and boy, I've been chasing that high ever since. Going back to sleep after I wake up, turning off your alarm and then laying back down is a very dangerous game. There's nothing that incites panic quite like realizing you fell back asleep. Yes, this shoot is ruining my self-esteem and life. Internet. Son, where did you get that from? The internet. Biting my nails and picking at them. Chocolate. Lego, specifically sorting pieces into categories. I can't get enough. Gaming. Spending money on games. Pringle. One solitary Pringle. Once he pops, the fun does stop. Well, my username has never been so relevant before. 100% this. I'll eat a whole tin of the salt and vinegar frikers and feel very uncomfortable for the next 12 hours. Buying video games and never playing them. There's an item on your wish list that's on sale for a penny. Buy it now so you can put off playing it until 2045. Steam thanks you for your service. Using cotton swabs in ear. I know it pushes earwax in deeper, but damn it feels good. Ever use one of those ear-in squeeze ball things? They are about $5 at the pharmacy. You fill it with warm water and squeeze and it flushes out your ear. As a fellow cotton swab addict, I suggest about 10 flushes in each side and you might be shocked and awed by what comes out. But does it feel as good? The reason I like swabs is not as much for the feeling of being clean as much it is for the glorious sensation. Something to do with the vagus nerve, maybe? All I know is that it's like halfway to an orgasm. I joke that I heard so much shoot growing up that my G-spot got confused and migrated to my ear, instead of my ass. Coke and instant ramen. How's prison life treating you? Gotta get that picante beef ramen. Sprinkle a bit on top for some of that crispy snap. Or mayo at the edit. This could be interpreted two ways. Beat Saber. I'm a 44-year-old dad. On my second game ever I almost scored a perfect on a hard level, missing only 3 blocks. I've been hooked ever since. I've been mock sword fighting with a Renfair group since I was a teen. So I think that might have something to do with it. The phrase I've been hearing a lot is fitness is the killer app for VR. What's crazy is the demographics. The CEO of the Supernatural VR app, I think it's Beat Saber vibes, but more fitness focused, was on a podcast recently, Decoder. And he mentioned over 60% of their users are over 40. That's a wildly different kind of growth than what new tech is used to. Procrastination. It's the most perfect day to start any job. Tomorrow. Most marvelous day that was ever invented. Why? There's absolutely nothing a man can't do. Tomorrow. Laying around and never getting anything done. My dream is to be horizontal most of the time. I believe you are referring to death. LOL, yeah, can't wait. Yep, I drove 20 minutes to meet a friend at Target and help her pick out glasses, just so I can get my ass out of bed. Otherwise, I'd just lay around all day. The struggle is real. Update. She's not even listening to my opinions. It's all about the tech's opinions. At least I'm out of bed. Sugar. Whenever mates went for a smoke break, I had my Haribo break. I imagine you just pulling out a pack of Haribos at a point when many people might pull out a cigarette, winding down at a bar, waiting on a bus, trying to look cool. Just had Shreks. Now, I want to put some gummy worms in a cigarette box and flip one upside down like a lucky worm. Caffeine. Me too. The only substance I am addicted to. I thought I could quit caffeine cold turkey. Nope. Day 3. I had the worst headache in my life. Never knew how physically dependent I was on caffeine. I quit caffeine in February and haven't touched anything with it since. This morning I felt like having a coffee and it felt like I was on speed. Heart beating like crazy. This is the best part. I quit caffeine about 5 years ago and now, if I really need a pick-me-up on a rare occasion, 1/3 cup of coffee has my hands shaking by the time I'm done. Spicy food. It tastes so good. This is scientifically backed. The man Smokin' Ed, who bred the Carolina Reaper, is an ex-addict and used the endorphins addictive qualities of hot foods to get him off hard drugs. He's a huge advocate for it. chronic fapping. I get it. It sucks. Alcohol. I'm a functioning alcoholic. Help me please. Check out Smart Recovery if you aren't a fan of the AA approach. That same advice, when I first heard it, quite possibly saved me from a short and miserable existence not worthy of calling life. I still do AA sometimes too, even though I don't take away as much as many. But Smart was a game changer for me. Frick me, I actually had to scroll down past popcorn to see this answer. I hear you, man. Currently drowning my sorrows right now. I've tried pretty much every drug that isn't regularly injected, and alcohol is by far the one I yearn for. I can do a week or two, but then I'm back suckling on a bottle. Maybe we'll make it one day. Look after yourself, man. I hope things turn around. Capital X. My phone. Anyone else feel ashamed when they get their weekly screen time report? Takeaway delivery. To the point that I'm angry while choosing my order and eating it. I think I have a genuine problem. The shooty thing is it's not even that good. I feel like 80% of the time I order food delivery, it's not nearly as good as I was expecting. Temperature's weird, soggy, shaken up, or just makes you feel disgusting because you're eating it on your couch instead of in a restaurant. It's always underwhelming. Yup, it's almost like the disappointment of the meal compounds the disappointment in myself. Staying up late to enjoy the peace and quiet that comes at 1 a.m. I love how different the world feels at night. It's completely changed. Strange. I love hanging out with friends at night. I wish the night would last as long as a whole day sometimes. That would be amazing. Wikipedia. I guess it's not a terrible habit to have, but I spend a lot of time on wiki marathons. This is one of my most rewarding time-wasting habits. I'm a compulsive Googler. Like literally anything I see, I'm like, oh, let me see what Wikipedia has to say about it. Even things I've already done the same for multiple times before, like maybe the information changed or something. My computer. Yeah, I get the same anxiety checking my screen time app as I do my bank account. Chapstick. Are you my daughter? Every Christmas I fill her stocking with around 30 tubes of whatever brand she prefers right then, and by November she's out. I even got her little keychain chapstick holders last year since she had her own car keys finally. How many extra tubes do you think it would take to tide her over for that last month? That must be aggravating, having the yearly supply run out right before you refill it. In fairness, not all of them were entirely used. She misplaces or has friends swipe the fair number of them. I always tell her that after the Christmas supply is tapped, she's got to get her own. She's fine with that, so it works out. I think she usually buys 5 or 6 more to get through. Chocolate. Houseplants. I have so many houseplants that when friends who haven't been over before come over, I get a lot of faces, followed by intense questioning. Short version summation. It takes a whole day to check and water everyone. I use 16 gallons of water a week. No, not everyone is watered every week. Yes, I've killed a lot while learning how to houseplant. I don't know for sure, but close to 400 most likely. Oops, tried to edit and failed the first time. 4 years I literally killed every plant that came into my possession. A few years ago, something clicked, and now I have so many plants that I literally helped build a greenhouse onto my garage. It's awesome, and I find puttering around in my greenhouse so calming after a day of peopling, lol. Caffeine and tobacco with hint of peen. Chef's kiss. The sprinkle of peen really adds another level, thanks to all of the steps. Music. We're in the best time in history to have a music addiction with the streaming era. Every week I have at least 2-3 new albums to listen to on top of having instant access to all my favorite old music. Spending money. That doesn't mean I have a whole lot of money to spend. I just can't seem to stop looking at store apps or yard sales or going out to eat when I don't need to. My wife reins me in for a lot of it, but I impulse buy shit I absolutely don't need all the time. Maybe it's more of an impulse control problem, but it typically always involves money. For example, I bought custom eye contacts based off the Rinnegan and another main Jekai Sharingan from the show Naruto. I'm 33. A lot of addictions are fed by impulse control problems. It's a hallmark of an addictive personality. Popcorn. Crunchy, buttery, salty, warm, delicious smelling popcorn. Not the microwave crap. I mean like, the perfect, better than at the movies, made with precision, care and love popcorn. Reddit. I can quit whenever I want. Naps. I can take 2-3 a day and then go to bed before 9 p.m. Edited to add. Yes, I do have severe chronic depression. How could you tell? Winking face, that's a lot of the issue. I am on 4 different classes of antidepressants as well, all of which can cause drowsiness. That said, I was a sleepaholic long before I was getting treatment. I'm also on hormonal birth control, which can be a itch as well for sleepiness. Also diagnosed migraine disorder, hypersensitive nervous system. Migraine naps do represent a decent portion of my naps. I have had a ton of blood work done and have asked about my thyroid. I've always been told it's normal, but I'm still skeptical. Yes, I take a multivitamin, smiley face. I also eat fairly well. Could be better, but small meals 5-6 times a day help. Big meals feel like taking an Ambien. Have not been tested for narcolepsy. I definitely should be looking into that. Thanks for the suggestion. Sorry for the long edit. I know it's annoying as hell, but question for all the people suggesting CPAP. I sleep like a rock at night. No snoring or breathing issues. I do talk in my sleep. Could it still be possible to have sleep apnea without all the classic symptoms? You'll have convinced me to get a sleep study and another metabolic panel. You might have a nutrient deficiency. Oh, that's possible. I take a multivitamin, but my diet isn't as green as it could be. I also have severe chronic depression, which I'm heavily medicated for, so I've always chalked it up to that. Haha. Either the disease or the meds themselves making me drowsy.